Haman came to the palace early that morning, confident that victory was finally in his hands. The gallows had already been built during the night, towering high above the city, prepared for the execution of the man he hated most, Mordecai. Everything was ready. All he needed now was the king's permission, and by evening, Mordecai would be gone forever. Haman walked through the palace gates proudly, convinced nothing could stop his plan. But inside the palace, events were already moving in a direction he could never have imagined. The king had spent a restless night, unable to sleep, and during those sleepless hours, royal records were read aloud to him. That was when the king discovered something surprising. Years earlier, a man named Mordecai had uncovered a plot to assassinate him and had saved his life. Yet no reward or recognition had ever been given. Now the king wanted to correct that mistake. So when Haman arrived, before he could even speak, the king asked him a question. What should be done for the man the king delights to honor? Haman was caught off guard, but almost immediately, pride filled his thoughts. Surely the king was speaking about him. After all, who else held such power and favor in the kingdom? So Haman began describing the greatest honor he could imagine. He suggested that the man should be dressed in royal robes once worn by the king himself. He should ride on the king's own horse through the city streets, and one of the king's highest officials should lead the horse, announcing before everyone, "This is what is done for the man the king delights to honor." Haman smiled inwardly as he spoke, already imagining the cheers of the crowd. But then the king spoke again. "Excellent," the king said. "Go at once and do exactly as you have said. For Mordecai, who sits at the king's gate." For a moment, Haman could not breathe. He felt as though the ground had disappeared beneath his feet. Mordecai? The man he planned to hang? The man who refused to bow? Now he was ordered to honor him publicly, and there was no way to refuse the king's command. So servants quickly brought royal robes. Mordecai was dressed in garments fit for royalty. He was placed upon the king's horse, and Haman himself was forced to lead him through the city. Crowds gathered in confusion and surprise. The same official who demanded honor from others now walked in humiliation, proclaiming honor for his enemy. This is what is done for the man the king delights to honor. Every word felt like defeat. Meanwhile, Mordecai remained calm and dignified, neither boasting nor mocking his enemy. When the procession ended, Mordecai quietly returned to his duties at the palace gate. But Haman rushed home in despair, covering his head in shame. He told his wife and advisors everything that had happened, but instead of comforting him, they warned him. If Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is truly rising, you will not overcome him. You will surely fall before him. Their words chilled him. For the first time, Haman sensed his power slipping away. Before he could even think of what to do next, the king's servants arrived at his house. The queen's banquet was ready. He was summoned immediately. Still shaken and confused, Haman followed them back to the palace. Inside, the banquet hall was filled with golden light. Fine food and wine had been prepared. Queen Esther waited calmly. The king took his seat, pleased with the evening. But Haman had no idea that this invitation, he once considered an honor, was about to become his final undoing. Because Queen Esther was ready to reveal the truth, and the trap she had carefully prepared was finally about to close. If you are enjoying this journey, subscribe now so you don't miss what happens next. Because in the next episode, Esther exposes the enemy, and everything changes. Continue to episode 6 on this channel. This is Bible Stories Explained Simply with new daily videos. Thanks for watching.